1923 Foot Season 2 Episode 3 Recap and Ending Explained. Is Luca dead? As Cara explains, the running theme in the third episode of 1923 Season 2 is that the new girls in the Dutton family must act like women and face their fears no matter what happens because the world is not a fair place and they cannot let men humiliate them or treat them differently. They must fight for their honor and their survival, and that's what will protect them in the wilderness of the men's world. The third episode primarily focuses on the horrors and humiliation Alexandra faces as soon as she reaches the land of opportunity, mind you, not the land of dreams, despite the lies the newspapers propagate. The fact that one woman is battling to get to the Yellowstone ranch while the other is preparing to pack her bags and head out as soon as possible is a powerful metaphor. Perhaps it alludes to the fact that only the strong will make it through the wilderness, and Elizabeth doesn't seem to meet that need, at least not just now. Having stated that, let's examine everything that occurred in episode 3 of 1923. Alexandra arrives in America. When the English ship eventually anchored in New York Harbor, Alexandra was startled to learn that she would need to visit Ellis Island's U.S. immigration offices before being allowed to enter the land of liberty. The men in the immigration offices seemed to spare no one, even though Alexandra was a white woman, and they weren't above punching a woman in the gut when she acted too smart. Perhaps, manners mocketh man, did struggle to reach the new country along with the rest of the immigrants. Which is why Alexandra's entry into the country was so exhausting, for want of a better word. Only those who had secured their travel documents in the U.S. Embassy in London were allowed to leave the ship without any such procedure, and Alexandra, in her haste, had forgotten to secure any such documents. Alexandra reportedly lost all hope of ever seeing Spencer again after suffering through hell. She no longer wanted to compromise her honor in order to seize the chance and enter the United States. She gave the immigration officer the lesson he deserved since she refused to compromise her honor in order to appease him. To persuade the officer that she wasn't a lady he might exploit, she read a piece from Walt Whitman's book. In the New Nation, she was able to read and find employment. She even pointed out the lipstick stain on his neck, which prevented him from divorcing. "Welcome to America," was the only thing the shrewd but humiliated officer could say. After being transported to the city by ferry with the other immigrants, Alexandra promptly purchased a map from the street to plot the remainder of the trip to Bozeman, Montana. Marshall Kent is aware of Tiana's location. Tiana and Pete informed Runs his horse in the last episode that the campground they were camped at was no longer a reservation, but she consistently dismisses them, believing that the cold in England is similar. Alex is likely going to get a harsh awakening on that front, as we have seen from everything that is happening in Montana. Jacob and the other cowboys on their journey back from Bozeman are first-hand witnesses to that type of cold. Even though they made it through the night in the wagon, they still need to locate the horses and start a fire to keep from freezing. While implying that they should leave him behind for a short while, Zane instructs Jacob to use the wagon for firewood because he will persevere and ride a horse the remainder of the way to the ranch. Elizabeth, Michelle Randolph, who continues to resist receiving the rabies vaccination, must learn some harsh lessons from Cara, Helen Mirren, who killed the rabid wolf at the ranch. When the rabies drives her insane, Cara slaps her and warns her to start acting like a grown woman since the alternative is to be shot. Elizabeth gives in but demonstrates her resilience by refusing to take the shot. Fortunately, when Jacob and company arrive with Zane, the doctor is still at the ranch. According to the doctor, Zane has a subdural hematoma, which is a swelling in his brain that must be drained or it would kill him. But since the doctor isn't wearing any anesthesia, Zane will have to endure the treatment while conscious and in excruciating pain. In the meantime, Jack, Darren Mann, experiences some mental distress when he discovers Elizabeth packing to return to Boston. She doesn't want this kind of life, and Jack must accompany her to Boston if he hopes to stay her husband. Elizabeth counts down the seconds till Cara takes another shot. And there are only 8 left. Runs his horse, Michael Spears, provides us a brief update when he locates the rancher who not only allows him, Tiana, and Pete to camp but also offers them a wage in exchange for helping to monitor the cattle as they travel over the plains. Overall, a good deal for the time being. It's not all sunshine and roses for Kent and Renault, their pursuers. in order to investigate the site where Kent killed the youths who assaulted during the night. The tribe that Kent has been provoking sends Marshall Fawcett, played by Jennifer Carpenter. When Fawcett finds tracks heading east, she begs the tribe to let her handle it so that justice can be done, but the tribe is more concerned with getting even than with justice. Spencer and Luca, Andy Dispenza, also start to have legal issues. Spencer spots a roadblock in front of them while they are traveling. Since these aren't the type of cops you can buy off, he pulls over and walks over to have a better look. Instead of risking his life for alcohol, Spencer says they must abandon the truck as they look for another route to Fort Worth.